This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Hey, welcome in on the television side from all over the world at CircleCountry.com to our Acuff House home. It's our new studio home for Coffee, Country, and Cody. Charlie Mattos, Billy Boy, Kelly Sutton, and there's Lexi Carter. She's our studio director this week. Jeff Roberts is making it happen. Rock Solid Roberts in master control here at the Acuff House. And right across the plaza, the Grand Ole Opry. That's where you walk in the front door and see Kelly Sutton host tonight's Tuesday night Grand Ole Opry show.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. We've got a lot of people signed up for it, I think.
Yeah, the Traveling McCurrys are going to be there. John Conley is in. Ashland Kraft, Kylie Morgan, Elvie Shane, who looks so different every time I see him.
Yes.
I have to go, that's Elvie Shane, I think.
Yes.
Charles Eston. Always killer handsome.
Hey.
And Austin Snell, Rhonda Vincent, and the Rage. That's who you've got.
You know, Charles Eston just came off of a stint of playing the Music Man.
Oh, did he? No kidding?
Yeah, I think it was it Philadelphia? He was either Philadelphia, it was in Pennsylvania, but he was just doing it over, I think it was a weekend, and he told me that he was going to do it last time I talked to him, and then I saw some pictures where he had the briefcase and he's walking on there. He was the Music Man.
Yeah, but when he was in 5th grade and was in his talent contest, did he sing Justin Bieber's Baby to a level that he won his 5th grade talent contest? Because Dalton Dover,
yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
He's coming to see us here in a little while. Just played the Opry over the weekend.
I love Dalton. He is just one of the brightest lights. He is such a joy to be around. We did an interview with him a couple years ago, really, when he was just getting started. And I thought, okay, I really, really love him. He's so much fun to be around. Just wait.
Speaking of fun,
yes,
Charlie Mattos has got a fun. Make plans for this coming Sunday. You want to tell them about the special Opry you're doing on Sunday?
Yeah, we're celebrating
jealous.
30 years of Forrest Gump. I got my white jacket. I got my Gump shirt. I got my Bubba Gump hat. I'm ready to got my sneakers. I am ready to go.
Wait a minute. Forrest Gump and Bill Cody's career at WSM are the same length. 30 years?
Yes, you beat them by about 4 or 5 months in release day. You released first. You got the summer market first. So.
But you're there with Gary Sinise.
Yeah, and the Lieutenant Dan Band.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scotty McCreery, Jamie Johnson, Gary LaVox, the Gatlin Brothers, Mandy Barnett, Louis York, Stolen Silver, and the Opry debut of Scotty Hastings.
Yep, Scotty's going to come see us tomorrow morning.
Oh,
so
fun.
Should be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Do we know which songs they're playing from the movie soundtrack?
We don't, because it's one of the best soundtracks ever.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's probably the first soundtrack that I specifically remember buying and owning, because it was a double disc,
right?
And having in my car and playing over and over and over again.
Yeah,
I loved it.
And we're doing a special thing in Studio A after the show. It's a Q&A, and it's almost, I mean, we sold a ton of tickets for it already, and we haven't even done the show. But it'll be with Gary Sinise, Michael T. Williamson, who played Bubba.
Yep.
And Michael Connor Humphrey, who was the young Forrest Gump, and Wendy Finnerman, who won an Academy Award as the producer. So it should be a lot of fun.
Are we serving shrimp?
In all its capabilities, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
That's
Speaking of
amazing.
30-year anniversaries, mine, Forrest Gump, Mandy Barnett called me the other day, and this is still coming together in August at the Country Music Hall of Fame, but it's the 30th anniversary of Always Patsy Cline, which was the first public event that I hosted outside of being on the air already for a month and a half or so. And she has invited me, along with Mandy and Terry Myers was her co-star, to host a little Q&A and retrospective of 30 years of Always Patsy Cline, when a teenage Mandy Barnett portrayed her.
That is fun. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Terry Myers always had such a Lucille Ball quality to her, too. So I just found she was perfect in that role.
And she is an attorney in the petroleum industry and was pursuing her law degree while playing Louise Seeger in Always Patsy Cline. I learned that from Mandy in the conversation we had over the weekend. That is something.
Gee, I wonder which pays more.
Do you think they would ever do a revival of it? A resurgence, another run of Always Patsy Cline?
27 songs a night? No. Let me answer. Let me answer for Mandy in advance.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she did that many. She said my throat was hamburger.
Oh,
you know,
bet.
I'm 17, 18 years old. She gets this role, and
Yeah.
27 songs a night.
Gosh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Night
how
after
people
night
on
after
Broadway
night,
do it.
but yeah.
It's too much. Hey, coming up, this is really cool. Get ready. Luke Combs and the cast of Twisters. So, guys, this was like the blockbuster over the weekend. A lot of people may have seen it. The cast of Twisters shows up at a Luke Combs tour stop. We'll show you what went down. Plus, there was a really pivotal scene in the movie that got leaked before the movie came out. Apparently, it's cut. You don't see it if you go see the movie. You can only see it in one of the trailers. I'll tell you about it just in case you're planning on going to the movies anytime soon. And Lainey Wilson has some new moves that she's added to her pre-show ritual. This comes after she split her britches the other day at Fast
I love that. My mother loved that phrase.
Split her britches.
Yeah, split her britches. Yeah. Those things are a little tight. You're going to split your britches.
That's
I can hear
right.
it now. Hey, welcome to the Yacup House. It's the new studio home of Coffee Country and Cody and WSM Radio, and it sits proudly on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza, where this fella, our special guest, just played the Grand Ole Opry for the fourth time over the weekend.
Yes, sir.
Welcome in here, Dalton Dover.
Man.
Great to have you on our show, as well as on the
Absolutely.
stage of the Opry,
Well,
brother.
thank y'all so much for having me.
We were just trying to locate Aragon, Georgia on a map.
So, like, I'm sure if y'all have heard of Rome, Georgia, I'm right outside of Rome, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Very small town. We don't even have a red light that goes through. Yeah.
Good. You didn't want to be in town.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Want to be out there on the septic.
Exactly,
Yeah.
man. Out in the country.
Polk County, right?
Polk County, baby.
There we
Come on.
go.
Okay, so how long did it take to go somewhere to get groceries? That's always like my determination.
Oh, it's just right down the street.
Okay, so not
Like,
far.
yeah, so
but
like-
that was like, was it a mom and pop shop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we have have y'all ever heard of Triangle?
Triangle.
Triangle
Right.
That was
Foods?
new to me.
Okay.
Okay. We have a Triangle. Y'all got to come to Rockmart, Georgia and see
Just
the
to see the
triangles.
triangle.
Exactly.
Yeah, we had like a little, it was IGA, but before that it was called Pride. It was just Pride. You go up to Pride and you would get the things that you really needed, like milk and bread at Pride. But if you had to do a big grocery run, you had to go about 35 minutes to the next town to go
Gotcha.
Walmart or Kroger. Those were,
That's a long drive.
it's a long drive. Yeah, out in the middle.
Are
of
you
nowhere.
familiar with Piggly Wiggly? Because that's
Absolutely.
That's what I have in my little hometown of Cross
Piggly
Plains.
Wiggly, yeah.
Yeah. The pig, as it is
pig,
often
yeah.
referred to. Making a run to the pig.
Yeah.
We had Stop and Shop.
Where you going? We're going to the pig.
Pig's got great merch, man. They got all these plays on
Really?
words with
Oh, yeah.
the Piggly Wiggly logo.
The Piggly Wiggly logo is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, tell me about playing the role of Justin Bieber when you're in the 5th grade talent contest.
Man, how
And
can
you-
I
and
can
you won
never
it.
live this down.
You won it. What did you get?
I
What do
swear
you
I
I
get?
didn't
didn't
get
tell
nothing.
her.
I didn't get nothing but a couple more friends. I was in 5th grade when I done that, and for some reason I just can't live it down.
So no cash prize.
No, I wish.
No, hey, go to 6th grade. You're
No,
that good.
No, I mean nothing like that. I got a couple friends, and I figured out I wanted to sing. And that's kind of where that
Were they
kind of come
female?
from. Yeah,
Were these
absolutely. Man. I had a lot of girlfriends. You know?
Now,
Shout out to 5th grade Double D.
Is there something addictive, though, even at that young age, about people applauding something you're doing?
Absolutely. I feel like whenever I started doing those like talent shows and stuff, man, I've really figured out like, okay, people like hearing me sing. I don't think I'm gonna do this some more, you know. So
Well,
I did not sing Justin Bieber anymore.
Oh, I know. Sadly.
yeah, 'cause I read where your granddaddy turns you on to people like Keith Whitley and
Absolutely.
Red Akins, Joe Diffie,
Yes,
Steve Warner.
for
Of
sure.
course, many of these guys.
Yeah.
I just mentioned all of them. Well, with the exception of Rhett, who regularly plays the Opry or Opry members,
Yeah.
or Keith was scheduled to become an Opry member. So when did you pick up the guitar?
Man, I started playing guitar when I was probably 16, maybe. And I'd always sing and stuff, but I felt like at that point in my life, I wanted to pick the guitar up and pick with my friends because I was just tired of just being the singer, you know? So I started playing and I learned Don't Close Your Eyes. And whenever I learned Don't Close Your Eyes, it's just kind of like, I don't know, it feels like it just come to me, you know? Mm-hmm. And you can play anything with G, C, and D. And I learned that real quick.
What was your favorite thing to listen to? If you were going in and you were like, I'm in a mood and I just need
Yeah.
a comfort song, like what was the comfort song back then?
God, probably like John Deere Green. or something
Really?
like that. Yeah, some of my favorite stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we miss
Or like
you.
one more day, one more time.
Yeah,
Some of
Diamond
my
Rio,
favorite-
yeah.
Some of my favorite stuff.
You know, Rhett Akins has written like 34 number one records.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow, man. Wow.
he is incredible. Have you met him yet? Have you had a chance
So
to meet him?
I ran into him. We have the same publishers over at Sony, and I've ran into him a couple times, but I've never like told him how big of a fan I was of him.
Okay.
I am of him.
Well, he's a fellow Georgian.
Yeah,
So you got that
know.
in common,
I know.
too. When you're
I just don't ever want to like make them think like, whoa, this guy is like crazy, you know?
You need to get in with the Peach Pickers, all the guys that are from Georgia, and they write and they do. They used to do a show. I don't know if they still do the show that's at the Ryman, but every year
yeah.
they would do the Peach Pickers
Yeah.
at the Ryman. You
That would
fit
be
right
awesome.
in.
I'd love to.
I mean, you got the cred.
Well, gosh, right off the top of my head, from legends like Bill Anderson, T. Graham Brown, Trisha, to Lauren Elena, Kane Brown. I mean, Mark Wills. There's
Luke Bryan.
a lot of Georgia coming our
Yeah,
way. You
so
know,
many.
yeah, Luke. Yep.
A lot of us.
Did you ever have any sports interest at all?
Man, I played football for probably a year, and I figured out it just wasn't for me, man. I don't like running. If that makes sense. You know?
It does make a
It just ain't my cup of tea.
What do you say about runners, Charlie?
I've never seen a happy one. I've seen a lot of people happy walking.
that's
I've
a
never
fact.
seen a happy runner. So yeah, there's something about getting yelled at a lot too, which is not really conducive to a fun afternoon. You
I was
know?
like, I think I just want to play guitar and
Yeah.
sing songs.
Yeah.
That's perfect. How was it performing on the Opry the fourth time? Easier, harder?
No, every time feels like the first time. Honestly,
Well,
like,
that's good.
Yeah, and I feel like it never gets old. Like, you know, telling my mama or my grandma or my grandpa that, hey, I'm playing the Opry again. You know, so it always feels like the first time. I'm always just as nervous and anxious to see who's going to be there playing with me, and stuff like that. This past weekend, Vince was there, and I love Vince so much, and we've built a relationship over the last year or so. And yeah, it's been so much fun always.
So you still live in Georgia and you commute back and forth?
Commute back and forth. I'm like 3.5 hours away, so the ride is not bad at all.
Yeah. So when you get here, you just take care of your business stuff and
Yeah.
write? Is that
Yeah,
what-
right, and come see you guys.
I'm so glad you did. It's the first opportunity to visit us on Coffee Country and Cody, and we're just, 4 weeks now into our new studio home here at the Acuff House. This is where Mr. Acuff lived from 1984 until he passed in 1992.
That's wild, man. This place is awesome. This room is crazy.
Yeah.
He walked in and I said, "Welcome to the green room. It's not put together just yet."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I haven't been here before." And I said, "We haven't been here for 3 weeks." So
I have to tell you though, making that drive on 24, the first time I ever made the drive going east. I'd done it coming this way, obviously, but going east. When you're driving, all of a sudden you see that sign that says "Welcome to Georgia," and you don't mean to be in Georgia.
Yeah.
It kind of freaks you out for about 10 miles till it
Oh,
welcomes
yeah.
you back to Tennessee.
For
That,
sure.
You know that little
Yeah.
quirky little thing.
Yes.
I'm
It's like you go into Georgia and then you're right back into Tennessee.
yeah, but if you just drive, I'm like, what have I done wrong? How could this happen?
What wrong turn
Right,
did I take?
exactly.
So it was a Christmas gift, I guess, wasn't it, when you debuted at the Grand Ole Opry, December 2022?
yeah.
Yes.
And how old were you?
I'm 25. I was 24. No, I'm 26.
23.
I was 24.
okay,
25, something like that. Yeah.
that's awesome.
What do you remember about that day? Take us through
Honestly,
the day that led up to your performance that night.
It's pretty wild because I started doing this thing. We done an old residency, so that's where I performed at every old red. Like I performed at Orlando. I went to Gatlinburg. I played here in Nashville, and I done all the old reds. And I ended in Nashville, and my whole family was there. And I kind of had an idea of what was going on, but I really did not know. Everybody was acting weird all day, like during this whole day, like the day that I got invited to play the Opry. And I think I was on like my third song at Old Red Nashville. And Blake called in, he was like, "Dalton, what are you doing, man?" And he asked me what I was doing December 3rd. And he asked me if I wanted to come play the Opry. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. You know?
No, I'm booked for Old Red Tishomingo that night. I'm not going to be able to make it. You know, Old Red Tishomingo, Old Red Las Vegas. They have so much.
Sorry,
in
Blake, I can't make it, man.
so much in common.
No, but that was a moment I'll never forget, ever.
That's awesome.
And the feeling like the first time that I stepped on the Opry stage, I'll never forget. Like I don't remember much, you know, like it was blurry.
Yeah.
to me, you know. Obviously, it's cleared up a little bit, just kind of playing it a couple times now. But the first time I don't remember much of how it felt, if that makes sense, because it was so much emotion, so much. My whole, like.
Do you remember the applause you got though?
Yes,
do you remember
I
that
do.
when it
Yeah,
all
I do.
wrapped up? And you
I remember trying to get off stage as fast as I could. That's what I remember the most. I remember like saying, "Let me get off of here," just because I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to react. You know.
I love it, but also I'm ready to get over here.
Yeah.
Take it in.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah,
I have to go.
Like my mom was backstage. I was like, "Did I say anything stupid? Like, did I like? What did I look good up there? Like, did I sing well?" She's like, "You done good." And I was like, "Good, we're in the game."
So,
All right.
you know, our friend Don Schlitz is one of the legendary
Yes.
songwriters, right?
Yeah.
And the first time he played the Opry, he did The Gambler, obviously, which was, you know, his signature, you know, #1 for Kenny Rogers. And he walks off and his wife goes, "Well, you sure did kill him off pretty fast." And he goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You skipped 2 verses. So you did well remembering all the words." So that's a good sign right there.
I feel like that's easy to do though. Like you go in there and like you're like, it's so nerve-wracking. I don't think is a word, but it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because like you grow up and you're listening to all your favorite artists like Blake and I mean Joe Diffie, all these guys that have played the Opry. The Opry is their home, and then you're pretty much welcomed into the home of country music. You know,
As a follow-up to that, Don Schlitz played the United Franchise Group exclusive Opry on Sunday night that I hosted, and he's the one that took us to intermission to a standing ovation. Oh, yeah, and he remembered all of The Gambler.
Oh, good. He remembered all the words.
He didn't skip the verse.
He didn't.
Oh.
Nope. Here's the deal. Dalton Dover, who just joined us on Coffee Country and Cody. His first appearance on our show, and he recently played the Grand Ole Opry, and it was his 4th time. If you just joined us, and we were recounting some of his favorite memories in the times that he's played the Opry.
Now that video for that song, first of all, where did you shoot the video for it?
we was at the Nashville Palace, right across the street.
Okay, yeah. It's great. And then it debuted in New York on the New York Times Billboard.
Yeah, wild, yeah.
How crazy was that? Did you get to go see it?
Yes, we did. We flew out there and saw it, and it was really cool.
Oh,
Yeah, it was so cool.
that's amazing.
Yes.
Wow, congratulations on
Thank you.
that.
Thank
Very
you.
cool.
Earlier, we played a song, Here's the Deal.
Yeah.
And I asked you if that was an original. You said you'd had it for a couple of years, but Hardy wrote it.
Yeah, Hardy wrote it. So
How well do you know him?
I've met Hardy a couple times, but we've not I don't think we've been really acquainted. Like we've not really got to hang out. But I've had a couple of his songs over the last couple years that have been sent to me and stuff. And Here's the Deal just really resonated with me, man. I really love it. I love anything I feel like that pays homage to where I'm from. Mm-hmm. So Here's the Deal kind of does that.
So where would you have gone to your first concert, and who was it?
My first concert, holy crap, man. Probably my first concert, I was 13 years old in Rome, Georgia, right up the street from where I'm from. They do this thing every year. It's called Rome River Jam. And Luke Bryan played one year. I think it was 2012 maybe. And that was the first time I'd ever seen like a live show. And I was like way in the back. So we couldn't afford tickets for the front. So we was way in the back, like where the tailgaters were. And I remember
Come on,
watching
Luke,
it.
lower the price, man.
Come on, Luke. Come on.
I want to get closer. I see where you're going to be in York, Pennsylvania, Bristow, Virginia,
Yes.
Grantville, PA, and you're out with Sam Hunt for a
Yes.
number of dates. I
Yes.
see first one's in New York, upstate New York, and
Yes.
Niagara Falls just across
Yeah, man.
into Ontario.
Yes, sir. Sam and I are from the same exact place in Georgia. Sam is from where I'm from.
Oh, I didn't realize y'all were that close.
Sam, it's me, Sam, and Nick Chubb for the Browns.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I can't wait.
And Sam played football. That's what.
Yeah, Sam was a quarterback in Cedartown, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then went to Alabama, Birmingham.
I believe so.
And then he got to put on some pads with the Kansas City Chiefs, but I don't think he played much.
Ah, okay.
He was on the meat squad.
Oh,
I think.
okay. Yeah. I'm curious, Dalton, how much of the country have you seen in the last 3 years of your life as opposed to the first 23 years of your life?
I saw more of the country in the last year than I have in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
And you went to London, didn't you?
Yeah, I was in London. We done C2C, which was really cool. I love the way they talk, and I figured out really quick that they love country music.
Yeah, and I bet they love the way you talk, too.
Oh, they love the way I talk, too.
It's Dalton Dover. Thank you so much for coming to see us
thank
at
y'all
Coffee
so much
Country
for
and
having me.
Cody. Boy, a lot of power in that voice, huh? Filled up the room, didn't he, Kelly?
He did. So good to see you, hon.
Absolutely.
And
Thank y'all so much.
He'll be coming to see you somewhere nearby, I bet near your hometown, close enough that you can get there to see him. And that's on the Locked Up Tour with Sam Hunt. Dalton Dover on Coffee, Country, and Cody. All the best, buddy. Thank you. All right. Well, enjoy the scenic route. Discover Tennessee's trails and byways. You know, there are 1,352 guitar pickers in Nashville. You know how many stops there are on the trails, the 16 different trails in Tennessee?
I have not done the math.
1,351.
Look at that.
I did the comparison. So which of the 16 are you taking us on this morning, Charlie?
Well, coincidentally, or maybe not so, I live on the Jack Trail. So let's explore the Jack Trail, shall we?
Of course you do.
108 stops on the Jack Trail. History, music, horses, and, of course, distilleries all await you. And, yeah, the historic Jack Daniel's distillery is on the Jack Trail. But make sure you take time out to check out the historic square in Lynchburg. Maybe a great meal at Miss Mary Bobo's. If you go to Lawrenceburg, I think Jackson would love this, the Old Jail Museum. See what it's like to be a prisoner in the early 1800s. And you talk about some history, the Giles County Trail of Tears Memorial. Well, that'll take you back and really sobering moment in our history. 108 stops on the Jack Trail. That's just a few. And you can go to tntrailsandbyways.com, and they have details and planning info on all 16 trails.
Yeah, 1,351 total stops on the 16 trails in Tennessee. So whether it's a day trip or a weekend getaway, you know, back to school here before too long, first week of August for most folks in Middle Tennessee. Hit the open road when you get a chance. Follow up at tntrailsandbyways.com. Kelly Sutton, good morning.
Good morning. We're talking about all things entertainment this morning, including the biggest blockbuster over the weekend. It was Twisters, the movie. No surprise. Everybody's been talking about it. And the biggest, I would say, soundtrack in a very long time. 29 different songs on this movie soundtrack. Every one of them from one of our friends, from Lainey Wilson to Luke Combs. And you know, Luke's song is tearing up the charts. Well, he's out on tour, and he gave everybody a big surprise at his latest tour stop. He's standing there and he said, how about we get the stars of the movie Twister up here with us to shotgun a beer? So they had them all come up on stage. We're talking about Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar-Jones, and Anthony Ramos out on the stage with Luke Combs shotgunning a beer. I mean, nothing is more country than that. Also, just want to let you know, there was a scene that was in this movie that apparently everyone was going wild for, and sadly, it was cut before the movie debuted. So it's online. It was a sneak peek. Never made it to the final edit. Look it up.
Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
And Kelly Sutton has entertainment. She is headed to the Grand Ole Opry. That's where we are this morning. We're in our new home, the Acuff House, since 1984 here on the Opry Plaza. And it's our new home, and we can see the entrance to the Opry House out our window, the Opry shop, the ticket office. When you get a tour of the Opry House, you also get that. It includes WSM Radio now in our interactive museum portion of the Acuff House, in which we sit. Lots of cool things. And it's still coming together. It's like anything else, like moving into your house.
Yeah.
It'll be a couple of months before it's exactly like we want it.
Oh, I still got boxes in my basement that I have not unpacked, and we have been there 13 years. So
I think that's the sign that you
don't need them, right?
Yeah.
If there's something in a box that's 13 years and you haven't opened it, just toss it.
Well, that's the same thing with clothes. They always say if you've not worn it in a year, throw it out. You won't miss it, or give it away. Or
I could never.
Yeah. So
Never.
The Traveling McCurrys, John Conley, Ashland Kraft, Kylie Morgan, Elvie Shane, Charles Eston, Austin Snell, Rhonda Vincent, and The Rage. That's your lineup for Kelly tonight.
Yes.
I will be there to host tomorrow night. Charlie, you're going to be there. I know you're going to be there Sunday for the Gary Sinise Forrest Gump 30th anniversary.
Yep, Friday and Sunday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So, and that's going to be a lot of fun on Sunday. If it's not sold out yet, it will be really soon. So if you want to be a part of that, I'd get tickets fast.
Did you see Mike Terry talking to the International Space Station?
I saw
from the stage of the
press
Opry.
release.
I have to let you. He was at the Opry. They were in outer space.
It said the Grand Ole Opry welcomes their first ever guest announcers that are not on Earth, and I was like, I knew there were aliens. I knew it. And then I read on, and it was from the International Space Station.
And
pretty cool. That was very cool.
They had just celebrated, was it the a first anniversary, like a 1 year for one of the crew members who'd been there for a year in outer space?
I don't know. I didn't get to listen to it.
They referenced it.
They did.
If you go back and listen, and I was just doing it from memory, that they asked, what they'd been doing. They said, well, we had a little party today and we celebrated and they baked a cake.
Could you imagine though, 1 year? I don't. No, I think claustrophobia.
And I wasn't sure if he was serious when he said that their breakfast was grits and butter.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I thought they only got to eat that dried astronaut ice cream that we all had when we were kids.
Oh, they still have that. You could still buy that. And Tang.
MREs. Remember and Tang? That was it. That's all they get. It is really cool. And the guy that he spoke with, I've interviewed before because he's from Mount Juliet, and he is one of the first that was from our area that had been on the International Space Station. So I think this was his return visit.
Yeah, he had his Tennessee State flag shirt. One of the astronauts had a Predators jersey, so they represented all of Middle Tennessee. It was cool. Really cool. It was such a clear shot. And then, so you just think they're standing or sitting, and then you realize they're floating because he's kind of like doing this every once in a while. So it's
cool.
wild. Yeah, it's wild.
Oh, I love that.
Grand Ole Opry blasts off. NASA astronauts sing Rocky Top for Opry live from space.
There it is. Well, if they're going to sing a song from space, that would be the one. And everybody down here in Middle Tennessee did the woo right at the same time. So we knew what to do. Hey, let's talk about what's been going on in entertainment headlines. Our friend Kane Brown. We knew his show was straight fire. We didn't know it was going to start a fire. So he was actually performing over the weekend. And this was at the historic Fenway Park. Y'all, look at the fire. Uh-oh. It started up in a scaffolding. Not really sure what caused it. I mean, it's so high up that I don't think it could have been the pyro from his stage. This is way up top, like one of the lighting grids, very, very tip top. So when they saw it, they immediately stopped the show. They got up there, put it out. It was only about a 10-minute delay, and then Kane took the stage again and apologized and went right back into it. So it was just a small, minor delay. Have no idea what caused the fire, but he did not burn down Fenway Park. So that's good news.
All right, the fate of the Green Monster.
You were nervous.
It's okay. Yeah. Well, the place has been there since 1910.
It would go up like a tinderbox if we were really... I mean, seriously, 1910? Can you imagine how seasoned that wood is?
I think they've made some renovations.
I sure hope so. For their sakes, I hope so.
Yeah, it burned fast. Good cured wood.
Went straight up.
No green wood in there.
No. You ever seen a Christmas tree catch on fire? Luke Combs, bless his heart, he is out on the road all the time. I'm just tired looking at his schedule because he is everywhere. But he's a part of the Twisters movie soundtrack. This one has 29 songs on it. All of them are country stars. So he's making a stop on his latest Growing Up and Getting Old tour. This was a tour stop in New Jersey. And while he was there, he said, how about it? Let's get the Twisters cast up here on stage to shotgun a beer with me. So you have Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones, and Anthony Ramos, whom I still love from Hamilton. I will always love him from Hamilton. They are all on stage with Luke, and they all shotgun a beer together. Nothing says country like shotgunning a beer with Luke Combs in the middle of his sold-out show. Look at them there on stage. It's so cute. All right, 1, 2, 3, and they did it. I'm proud of them. They did a good job, too.
I'd like to think back in the day, Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt would have done the same thing.
You know they would have. Helen Hunt sure would have. I know that for sure. Growing Up and Getting Old tour continues into Washington, D.C., Cincinnati, Houston, and he's got 2 nights in almost every city. So you can check it all out at lukecombs.com to get those tickets.
If we're growing up and getting older,
yes,
let's stop shotgunning beers.
Oh, I stopped that a long time. I don't think I honestly don't think I've ever done it.
I have never and don't understand it at all.
If I did it, I don't remember doing it.
I haven't either. No.
Maybe we should.
Yeah. I think I drink like
now I feel like
drink
all
like
three of
one
us
beer
should.
a year. So
I would throw up for sure. It would not be pretty. It would not be pretty. Speaking of the Twisters movie, I got to tell you about this. So there is a scene from the Twisters movie that everybody saw. It got leaked, right? And it's the 2 co-stars. So it's Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones. and they are kissing, like making out big time. And there's somebody with a cell phone that's just like behind the scenes videoing it, and that got leaked. It's not in the original movie.
So it got cut.
People are hot. They are so mad. They were like, what happened? And somebody said, Steven Spielberg, who is the director, said, take the kiss out. Now people are saying, remember what they took from us. This is the deleted scene. So, I feel bad that you didn't get to see that, but you can find it because it is on YouTube.
That'll be the director's cut on Blu-ray.
The director's cut will be out there for sure. All right, Dolly Parton Cookbook. It's coming soon. We've been talking about it, and now there's going to be a special edition. It's Good Looking Cooking with her sister Rachel, and there's going to be a special cover edition that's coming to Walmart. It's exclusive to Walmart. All you have to do is pre-order it, and then you will get it the day that it arrives, which is going to be September the 17th. I don't know many of the recipes that are in there, but I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of butter that will be used.
Yeah. No diet recipes.
No. Mm-mm. Well, it wouldn't taste good if you did that. So it's a great looking cookbook. So if you want the special cover edition, you got to get it at Walmart, and you can pre-order it. Also want to let you know we got new music coming from Dylan Marlowe and Jordan Davis, both on Friday. So be looking forward to that. And that's what's making entertainment headlines.
By the way, Butch Wilmore is a fellow's name that is the crew chief aboard the International Space Station at the
Butch,
Opry.
okay, yes.
Spokesperson. Mount Juliet High School.
Yeah.
And went to Tennessee Tech. Retired Navy captain, commander of the crew flight test mission, NASA's Boeing Starliner spacecraft is the International Space Station. He's on his third space flight, but they left and they were going to be gone a week and then had some issues. So they've been there 47 days as of...
So he had only planned on going for a week?
Only packed for a week, Kel. Been there 47 days.
And there's no target in space.
I think you sweat very little in space, though.
I am sweating for him to not have your to a week, and then all of a sudden you're there for over a month.
It says that they are still enjoying their stay in space and really don't mind the delayed return.
I don't believe that at all.
Yeah, they haven't.
What are they going to say? I hate it. Get me out of here. Help. SOS. There's nothing they can do. Was there some kind of encoded message when he was on the Opry? It was blinking. Help me.